Hey everybody, it's Craig back to here, and in this video we're going to talk about what I think is probably the most disappointing Mac ever. So we're talking about the new Mac Pro just announced on June 3rd, 2019. We're going to have a look at some of the specs, and we're going to talk about why I think this is the most disappointing Mac ever, although some people may disagree with me, so save those comments for the comment section below. But anyway, let's have a quick look at it. So a lot of people will be happy that they went back to the cheese grater look, where you can actually do some upgrades to the Mac, and you can see here you've got the lid that just sort of comes off, the whole body comes off, and then you can easily access all of the components inside. Now that's pretty cool, but it's the expense of adding on all of these modules and the base price that I want to talk about. We'll save that for a little bit too, and we'll talk about the new monitor that they just came out with. But you can get up to 28 cores of a Xeon processor. The base model comes with only 8. And also, what I found disappointing was the base graphics card that they're offering with the Mac Pro. So we're going to talk about that as well. But really, some people have said that if you want the full spec'd out version, it could cost as much as $35,000 to fully spec out the new Mac Pro, which is crazy. How many people are going to spend $35,000 on a computer? But I mean, all of this looks great in theory, but how many people can really afford to really spec this out to get the most out of this new system? So let's talk about the graphics card. So the base graphics card in this is the 580, so the Radeon 580, which has been around for quite a while, and you can get those for probably less than $500. So we're going to look at some of the tech specs. So the base model comes with an 8-core processor, 32 gigs of RAM, a 256 gigabyte hard drive, and also the base video card, which is the 580, which I said comes in at probably, I'd say, less than $500 if you were to purchase this on your own. Now, if you want to upgrade to the more expensive cards, we don't even know what those are going to cost right now. So the base model comes in at $5,995. And there was total silence when they announced that yesterday at the event. Now, if you compare those base specs to the iMac, which comes with a monitor, you can see here we've got the 8-core. Even if we paid the over expensive price that Apple charges for RAM, 32 gigs of RAM, the 580 graphics card, even a larger hard drive, we could get this for $3,399 US. So a couple of grand cheaper, almost half price of what the Mac Pro cost, and you don't get a monitor. So let's talk about what it would cost to build a similar computer. So if you want to build the PC yourself, you can see here we have an 8-core processor, we have a cooler, we have the motherboard, we have RAM, we have a hard drive, we've got the 580 card, we've got the case and the power supply. If you were to build the same spec Mac Pro yourself, it would be $1,739 US, so less than $1,800. So you're paying $4,000 more for the same specs just to say, oh, I own a new 2019 Mac Pro. It's ridiculous, $4,000 more. Now, I've been using Apple for over 10 years now, so I'm a big Apple fan, but I'm extremely disappointed in this. Now, there's been rumors about the display, 6K, 32-inch. Everybody was probably hoping it would be maybe $2,000. So I'll spare you all the details. They announced this. Again, this is a $5,000 display, but get this. The stand is optional. The stand is an optional accessory, which how can you use this monitor without a stand? You need to buy the stand. The stand is another $999. And when they announced that the stand was an extra charge, there was a groan in the audience. It was the first time I've ever heard a groan at an Apple event, and everybody just kind of went, oh. So it's ridiculous. So if you wanted the base Mac Pro, which isn't very good as far as specs, and you wanted to pair it with this monitor, it would cost you about $12,000 US. And then, of course, you're going to want to upgrade. So it's going to be a very, very expensive system. Now, you can get a similar monitor. It's 32 inches. It's got a 1,000 nit brightness. And that's about $2,000. So everybody was kind of hoping the Mac monitor would be that price. But unfortunately, it's going to cost you about $6,000 for the new Mac monitor and $6,000 for the base model of the Mac Pro. So if you really want to go with the Mac, if you want to stay with the Mac, I think going with the iMac is probably the best value right now because you get the monitor and you get the same 8-core processor. Well, not exactly the same. They use a Xeon processor. But I think this is probably the better bet for you if you're a video editor right now, or building your own PC and going with Windows. I think could be a much more affordable option that will allow you to upgrade. That's the one thing about the iMac, you can't really upgrade it. So in a few years, you'll find yourself having to buy another one. So if you want to be able to upgrade, it looks like you're going to have to build a PC and use Windows. Or you can always try your hand at doing a Hackintosh, although that's going to have its own amount of complications that go with that. So anyway, let me know what you think. Do you think that the new 2019 Mac Pro is the most disappointing Mac ever in regards to pricing? I was kind of hoping it would be, I don't know, maybe $3,500, $4,000, but coming in at $6,000 for a underpowered base model isn't that exciting. So let me know in the comment section below. What do you think of the new Mac Pro? Is it overpriced? What do you think of the new monitor? Is that overpriced? Would this make you switch from a Mac to a PC based on the ridiculous pricing structure that Apple's created? Let me know what you think in the comment section below. All right, thanks for watching. It's Craig Beck here, and I'll see you in the next video.